Uduasha city, where the sun is a mirror and the moon a shadow. 800 years ago, the gates of death were broken by the Emperor Immortal. The 5 key-bearers, however, had already unlocked them and walked right through. It is in Uduasha city they dwell. Now, the ghost field breathes next to our reality, lit by the eternal flame of the well of Udu. It is a second skin, a place where thought and will struggle against gravity and light. In other places, the dead congregate in the ghost field, but in Uduasha, the well city, the hell city, they fall straight into the flames. See its glittering districts: Kshitijpur, where the rich plot to buy the horizon; Bunda West, where the refugees of 2 different nations flock; and Pasarhandu, the vertical maze of market and murder. And here is Udepat, where the Ceaseless Temple resides. Its inhabitants, a family, a snake, and a god. The temple has stood since before the gods of this world were forgotten. Watch as it turns the wheels of revolution. Welcome to Desperate Attune, an actual play podcast about people who take risks so they can survive against the odds. Well, hi. Welcome back to Desperate Attune and our current campaign of Blades in the Dark, called A Candle Ablaze, set in the city of Uduasha. I'm Tree, or Soumithri. I'm your GM, and I will be running this game for you today.
My name is Emma. I am playing Joan, a retired ghost fighter, and I use she/her pronouns.
Hi, I'm Klow. In real life, my name is Zoheb, and I'm a he/him, and I'm playing Miras Chakraborty, the crew's leech, who is an engineer turned cult leader.
I'm Prince, he/him. I play Vickers, a roofballer and Miras's wife.
I'm Soap. I play Abbas, the religious scholar, and pain in Miraz's side. And my pronouns are he and him.
Oh, I actually forgot my pronouns, which are all of them. I really don't care.
Hey everyone, it's Zoheb with a quick recap of our previous episode. Abbas met with his long-term friend Dr. Triparna Sen of the University of Udu. They discussed the possibility of setting up a critical newsletter for revolutionary, anti-imperial sentiment. Joan managed to find crucial information on the Begum Bashundhara's plans, including the date of her so-called inspection of the Ceaseless Temple. The Chakraborty family are now well placed to stage their charity roofball match on the exact day Begum Bashundhara will visit the temple. But first, Joan took Vickers to see His Majesty the Snake, and a lovely afternoon was had where Vickers learned to see His Majesty as just another guy. And with that done, we can now get ready for our second score.
Okay, before I say this, are you going to do the fundraiser before the inspection? Is that the plan?
I think we're going to do it during the inspection. Like, everyone will be there. Like, Morosim will be there, and I forget her name will be there, and Abdul will be there.
Yep.
We'll just play them out against each other, right? Yeah.
That's great, because it makes everything dovetails quite nicely then. And you know exactly when the inspection is taking place, right? So, I guess one challenge is setting everything up in such a short time frame, right? Because we've established, in fact, that when Joan nicked the plans, that it established that you had about 2 days. If you went for your thievery around 12 a.m. on Monday, then the inspection is on 8 a.m. on Wednesday. 12 a.m., 12 p.m., you know what I mean. So, yeah, how are you? How the engagement role question is going to be? How are you able to arrange all of this in such a short time? Right? But before we get there, does anyone have any other gather info they want to do?
I do have one, actually. I want to know more about, what was her name?
Marian. Yeah.
Marian.
Yes.
Because she is by definition interfering in the score, because she's going to play a roofball match against me while all of this is taking place. So I have the pretty straightforward, I think, gather information on her to just know, I know her team is like bashy and punchy. But I want to gather information on her personally. Like, what are her strengths and weaknesses in a match?
Absolutely. That seems exactly like the kind of thing that you could find out.
And the way I'm going to do that is by prowl, I think. And I think that I'm just going to watch them train again. I know where they train, so I'm just going to like blend into the crowd, not confront her directly, because then she would hide her secrets, but just surreptitiously observe one of her games.
That makes
Is
sense.
it fair?
I actually have a devil's bargain for you here. It's kind of a weird place to offer one,
Okay.
but which is that it's possible that someone is observing you observe them, and that someone is your sister, and she will realize that this is happening and also become involved in the score.
Okay, I cannot not take that,
Yep.
right? Absolutely.
Very good. Excellent.
Okay, I get a 6 because of my
Excellent.
sister. Her bonus die generated a 6 for me. So what I want to establish about my sister Elizabeth Ashcroft, or Lizzie as she goes by, is that she is basically like, she shares Vickers' headstrongness, but she is definitely on the posher side. Like, she would not be caught, playing in a roofball match. She is, she's upper class, and she cares about her being upper class far more than she cares about silly trifling things like love.
And in fact, I think the reason that her being there gives you the bonus die is that, unlike you, she absolutely stands out like a sore thumb. And Marion is a bit like, who is this tough and why is she here? And Elizabeth isn't about to be like, well, I'm actually like following my sister who's over there. As a result, in the ensuing kind of like disturbance, you actually get like free reign to observe what the tactics are like. And I think that you see that Marion is not very much of a player herself. What Marion is very good at is leading and directing. Which is not to say that like she's crap at handling a ball, but she's very much like the head of the snake. And she's developed a very good system.
I have what I need. So if I somehow take her out of the match, my ragtag band of losers might stand a chance because they'll be less organized.
In fact, I think the reason you realize this is when Marion finally goes up to this woman and is like, what the hell? You realize immediately that the team gets much less good.
Excellent.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah, there's probably only one possible leader better for them, and it's me, which we saw last score. But I'm not about to lead her team. So
very good. Yeah. So yeah, that's the information about Marion.
Yep.
Does anyone else have any info they want to find out?
No, I'm good.
Not really. No, I do have like kind of an angle for a thing that I should preface for when we go into the score, and that is that while the party is going on and the like inspectors are here, I don't think I will be targeting Bashundhara herself, but maybe someone who comes with her because she gave instructions to people, right? And I want that person to have like a proper religious experience while we are here, so that they are like partially because, that should be proper when you go into a temple, but also that is a good way to influence, to like tip the scales in our favor.
Yeah, so convert her assisted.
Yeah, basically that's what I'm going to be trying to do.
Conveniently, we have a giant snake on a viewing platform that might contribute towards a religious experience.
Absolutely.
Really?
What a coincidence. That's so good. Okay.
Yes.
But that will come into play during the score, I guess.
Okay. Engagement roll. Start with 1 die for sheer luck.
Klow, did you also want to do something still?
Just to be clear, do we still have the Scovlanders with us?
Yes, you do.
I think they are still here.
We haven't met with Queen Freya yet. We were going to.
Yeah. It has not been long enough for that meeting to have been arranged. And they're in my mind. I haven't brought them up, but they're definitely going to be at the match. They're going to be like probably wherever Zajudan is sitting, they will be with him.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, so that wasn't related to what I wanted to do, but I just wanted to clear. What I do want to do is, so we're having Abdul Siddiqui. What's his full name?
Abdul Qasim Siddiqui.
It's Abdul Qasim. Yeah.
Sheikh Abdul Qasim Siddiqui. Okay, so that man's coming over. We obviously want him to kind of be on our side and kind of like spoil Bashundhara's plans. But he's also a problem, right, for us. well, at least for me, because I
I
want
created
to.
him. I created this character specifically to be a problem for Miraz.
Yes.
Very good.
I want to know something about him, like some sort of common interest that we might share.
So I said that he was charismatic in a military kind of way, like, and he's indignant. But other than that, I didn't say much about him.
Yeah, let's see what I can dig up. I think we'll see her properly on screen later, but I'm talking to my vice purveyor, Fawzi
Yes,
Ansarek
of the foundation.
of the
This
foundation,
makes sense.
because I imagine she frequently has problems with this man as well.
Yep, she really does.
Yeah, so I'm talking to her. I'm
Makes sense.
concerting with her.
I think this is
Is
a
it a
fortune
fortune
roll.
roll?
Like, she's your vice purveyor. She's happy to talk to you about like her problems.
Okay.
And this man is definitely one of them.
Yeah.
Ooh.
3.
Mhm.
So I think if I may color this result, he and I find out about one of his interests, something that he's like really, really keen on, something that like, he'd warm to anyone who's like into the same thing, but it's something that I really, really don't like, and I know what it is.
Traditional medicine?
It's hang
Oh,
gliding.
it's hang gliding.
Hang gliding.
Yes, it's another one of Uduash's sports. You come up, you go to one of the high districts like Udaput, and then you abseil all the way down as far as you can dare to go. Like the most daring thing to do is like kind of go to the Udu and kind of like ride the thermals back up. This is very daring because people die this way.
Yes, indeed.
But he's into it. He's far too old to be doing this, but he's pretty good at it. I also have a contact who's a hang glider, so I do not like to do this because it's terrifying and horrible. But if I were to be a hang glider, if I were to get into hang gliding, if I went hang gliding with this man,
I mean,
or I pretended to know all about hang gliding.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. And I think the reason that your vice purveyor knows this is that, of course, he has managed to block some like very useful and important reconstructions and redevelopments because it would interfere with the hang gliding routes of the city.
Excellent. I really look forward to meeting this man.
Great. Okay. So, engagement roll?
Sounds good, Captain.
Very good.
Go ahead. One die for sheer
One die
luck.
for sheer
That's
luck,
where we
yeah.
were.
Is this operation particularly bold or daring? I think so.
No, I don't
think
think
so.
I don't think so.
I think it is because we are inviting all our enemies to our home turf.
And
Okay,
your massive
fair.
blood
It can
snake
be
is going to
argued.
be there.
Okay,
Yeah.
that I think also makes it complex
Yes.
and contingent on other factors, though, which loses us
Because
a die.
we're trying to solve multiple problems at the same time, etc. as well.
Yep.
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
So one die so
Mhm.
far.
Does the plan's detail expose the vulnerability of the target or hit them where they are weakest? So in this case, the target is...
Yes, I think it can be argued.
Yeah, so in this case, the target is the commission, right? Yeah,
Bashundhara.
Bashundhara.
Yeah, Bashundhara is our target.
Yeah. I think it can be argued that it does because we are
Bringing in her rival.
Yeah.
And we also know about her plans and so on. I think,
Mhm.
we're specifically doing this in a way that should be effective against her.
Mm-hmm. We also planned a festival on top of her inspection. I think that alone is a weakness, since because of Joan's information, we could do that, right?
And you're able to say, total coincidence. Of course, I didn't know because you didn't tell us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hey guys, we have to stop the soccer match because they're trying to shut us down. Oh, sorry, guys.
Yes.
I'm sure the crowd would love that.
Is the target strongest against this approach, or do they have particular defenses or special preparations? I don't think they have special preparations against roofball.
No.
No, I think this is going to completely catch them off guard, right?
Yeah, it really is.
So that's 2 dice so far.
2 dice.
And any of your friends or contacts provide aid or insight for this operation, they have. Right?
Yeah. They have stick dice there.
But our rivals are also definitely interfering.
Yes,
so
correct.
Yes.
So
we lose 1 for that.
Still 2 dice.
And
2.
are there any other...
We are on our home turf, which actually gives a +1 engagement.
Yes. In fact, that is true. It may be the only time I have seen this. I've never
Yeah, I know. It almost never comes up. But doing a score on your own turf gives you a +1 bonus. So
and I think you do get it.
I feel like it's going to be extremely hard to argue that the this place is dangerous and like is going to collapse, and it's bad. It has bad structural integrity when you just witnessed like an entire crowd and soccer match or roofball match going on its roof.
Yes.
True. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
So we're 3 dice.
There are 3 dice.
Good.
Yeah. I was wondering whether the hive will lose you a die, but the hive is not actually a target here. Like what is happening is whatever influence Morosim can get attack you, and that will be complicated. But I don't think he's gonna be able to muster enough to lose you a die. So amazingly, you have 3 dice on this engagement roll. So let's watch you roll 3 ones.
I do think we should lose a dice for tier difference, because they are tier 2, we're tier 0. Tier 2 isn't high, but for us it's pretty big, right? And they're like sharks. They know their entire thing is trying to shut, this sort of thing down, so they know their business as well. So I think the tier difference does matter.
This makes sense. Yes, you're right.
2?
Yeah. Weirdly, I was so focused on the hive that I forgot about your actual target. So yes.
Okay. I will roll then.
2
4.
and 4, which is not bad.
We're in the middle.
Risky. Okay.
Yeah. We don't start out totally screwed, but we also don't start out comfortable.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay. So this charity event doesn't just have this roofball thing happening. So I will ask each one of you what other side attraction is currently occurring at the temple. Starting with Aadiyat.
What other side things are happening?
Like what else is happening at the fundraiser as like the lead up to the main event, which is the roofball?
When I made notes for this, I noted down that you could attend a seminar on spiritual well-being with Abbas. I just want to throw that out there.
Absolutely.
Have your fortunes told by John, and apparently I'm supposed to give personal blessings as well.
Yes.
Okay.
So we stick to that.
Okay, very good, actually. So describe to me, Abbas. Tell me 3 things that you have told this cheering audience about how to be safe and hygienic in today's Udawasha.
To be what in today's Udawasha? Hygienic?
It's like it's spiritual. It's medicine and spirituality, right? Did I?
Right. Okay. Oh, how to play this? Okay.
It's was time.
Yes, it's like, oh god, I have to, like, Abbas is giving a khutbah here. It could play into the conversation that he's been having with, but I think maybe now's not the right time to bring up like
the revolution. Yeah, maybe not.
His revolution. It's probably not the right time to bring it up. So I think mostly just generic things, right? It'd be like, but I think you can kind of talk about like the importance of community, right? He'll bring up his thing about the garter snakes again and how they live in colonies of hundreds, as people are like clapping, but also they don't really understand what that has to do with anything. The snakes.
Yeah.
Like, I think one of the things that he'll say is, he says that to listen to like, also, like, part of your spirituality is like you must be patient. You have to look within yourself, right? Like, you have to meditate. Like, nowadays, too many people, they're just rushing into action, but not enough people are thinking.
The best speech to give just before a roofball event. Too many people are into action.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yes, I see so many people. They're like, all just worrying about getting things done, but no, we have to take a step back. We have to like think about the things that we do before we do them, that kind of thing. And okay, so the third thing he'll say is, I think he will then go on to contradict himself without realizing it, by saying that the importance of being proactive.
All the best advice is contradictory. So on brand.
Yeah, he'll say that we must be patient, like the python that can go that only hunts twice a year, but it makes sure that meal lasted for the whole year. And then he'll talk about being proactive, like I don't know what kind of snake can be proactive.
I think as
a cobra or something.
not to interrupt, but like as you're making this speech, Miraz can be seen in the background, like mouthing along to the speech because he's heard this exact same thing for 30 years.
Yes. All right. Yeah. These are my two things. The first one is about the community. The second thing is about being patient, and the third thing is about being impatient and being proactive. But Abbas makes it work in a way where people are like, well, you know what? It probably makes sense. Like yeah. And if anyone like tells him that what he's saying is contradictory, he'll be like, look, you're just not thinking at my level.
Yeah. Great. Raz, who is the weirdest person you are asked to bless?
Let me have a think about this then. Weirdest person I've been asked to bless. Yeah, let's bring more noble houses into it, right? There's such a key feature of Uduasha as canonically written, and might as well make that also true here. Bring them out a bit more. Let's see which house is interesting. Let's bring in the house that we made,
Anrakis,
House
sorry,
Anrakis. No, yeah. Ansarik is one of the default ones. So yeah, we made House Anrakis, which for the listener is devoted to Rakis, the god of song and laughter.
Yeah, absolutely. This is the kind of event that House Anrakis would be interested in.
Yeah. So there's a House Anrakis representative coming over, and I think so it's one of the lesser branches, I guess, of House Anrakis, but still, nobility, definitely upper class. Probably they live in Udaput. Penniless grandeur sort of vibe, right? So this person has a daughter. She's like, I don't know, 16 or something. And this person brings the daughter over for me to bless because of they start telling me about like, how not only am I a high priest, but I went to Dustville to study and so on, and like this mom wants the same for her daughter, and the daughter seems like
just get this over with, please don't.
And it's like really weird. Yeah. It's really weird for a number of reasons. Like I think the biggest weirdness about it is that the Iruvian noble houses, they're like super proud of the fact that if they need something, they talk to the demon princess that they have devoted their entire bloodlines to serve. Why is this person asking me? Some random priest of some forgotten god.
Absolutely.
So yeah, that's the vibe. And
go on.
No, yeah, I'm just setting that up for you.
I think that like one of the things about this woman is probably that like she's clearly very, very devout. And I think that she brings to, because she's a noble of us Anrakis, people are a bit like, oh wow, okay, if someone who is genuinely like from the house that is dedicated to the demon of song and laughter is here at this charity event, it must be cool. And look, the high priest is blessing her. Oh my god. And I think immediately
also get this right, otherwise it'll be bad, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I think like now all eyes are on you, but this is not necessarily a blessing that you are unused to giving. You have done it any number of times. You do it fine, but I think like there is now a much longer queue for you to deal with.
I think, if you don't mind, I think it's interesting if we focus on it, like, because I don't normally give blessings. That's the thing, right? I've been here a month, a bit more, 1.5 months, I guess. Every now and then someone comes in and I kind of just vaguely wave my hands at them to kind of like, here's your blessing, go away, right? So this is the first like high profile event where I've like been trotted out in front of everyone to like do this to everyone, and I can't just vaguely wave my hands in front of someone from House Anrakis and just walk away. So I have to like properly do this.
So in that case,
I have to like properly listen to what
in that case, let's come back to you in a second.
Go on.
Because I want to do the montage
let's do that.
Joan.
Okay.
You are telling fortunes. And you and Vickers has set up somewhere for the snake to be. And wherever you have set up your fortune-telling stand is probably also in view of this place, because Vickers has definitely set up, like, I imagine somewhere for the snake to be that is like quite high up so that it can get like a view of the entire action, right? So how do you feel about like doing this where the snake can see?
I think it's for Joan, it's an activity that normally is very connected to the snake, because it's the snake telling her that what will happen, or her reading on the snake's scales what will happen. On the one hand, it would feel weird if the snake wasn't there, but it also feels like she has to get it right, and she doesn't feel like she is getting it right.
Interesting. Yeah.
She feels like she's imitating the snake rather than doing something wise.
So it's like a child like watching like an adult do something and then like doing it for yourself and realizing, oh no, it's not just about following the motions. There is like more to this than that, but it's not clear how you would get that.
Yeah, basically.
Okay. Okay. And lastly, Vickers, I imagine you have some kind of like a match ritual, right? Like in order to like hype up the team. What is this ritual that you were all like doing in order to like make sure the heads are in the right place?
Oh, interesting. The team still has a bit of a morale penalty, but it doesn't actually matter because they have 0 dice. They technically have negative 1 dice at the moment because they're still sad about the last. But you can't have less than 0. So they're not in a great place. But I absolutely think that we do have some kind of a ritual. And I think it involves, like, this is not something that's like established. Every team has their own tendencies, right? But we have a Socks who keeps pilfering things off of clotheslines. And I think our ritual is that Socks steps forth and she presents some item that she declares is lucky because she was like in a good mood when she found it. And then she will put it on and we will all be like, yes, today's lucky thing is like a hat or a sock or something. So she will present some item and be like, yeah, this is my lucky, and it's always like, this is my lucky thing, right? This is like my lucky sock or something. And then the next match she's lost it and she has a new lucky thing.
So I think for this match, Socks' lucky item is a lucky like glove, but the gloves are fingerless. And she thinks it's super cool because, oh my God, fingerless gloves. You can definitely see that what happened is that somebody went at them with a pair of scissors, decided that like it was a trash job, and they just like threw them away. And Socks has found this and gone, this is the most amazing idea ever.
Excellent. So yes, Socks puts on her lucky fingerless gloves, and Vickers will hold a short speech to hype everyone up, but fortune's on our side. Roofballers are superstitious.
They absolutely are. Yeah.
And even though I think this is always some new lucky item, Vickers is a good enough leader that she can somehow always talk it up and be like, okay, yes, excellent. This means that we'll all have extra steady hands this match because gloves. And so yeah. I also want to add that Vickers has arranged the catering, so she has attempted some fusion food of the local cuisine with that of Doskvol to make it more palatable. So at this function tonight, we will be serving spam biryani with cinnamon, whipped cream, and a side of Carolina Reaper.
Did you just say spam? It's good that you've already lost the die for other things, because otherwise this would have...
Yes.
Spam biryani.
What's wrong with spam biryani? I've never had spam though.
No, I mean,
I don't know. It just, I don't know. On principle, this seems like I feel this is offensive
Yes, we have established that Vickers does terrible things with food. Okay, like her last attempt was to make sugar and fish muffins.
you're right.
Come on.
Yeah.
I know. No, it's fine. In character, it's fine. It's just that.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes, I know.
that one hurt in a way that the others didn't.
All of these things.
Good.
Very good. Okay.
There's a reason then that Miraz is married to Vickers. He enjoys all
Well,
this.
he just loves her so much. that,
Obviously, yes.
Anyway, one of the two. Okay. So then I think let's start with this blessing. Because this woman is a bit annoying. Like you've dealt with women like her and men like her before, right? Like devotees who turn up and they're like very specific about exactly what they want, and you are merely a receptacle for your god. So get out of the way while I talk to your god. And I think that that would be totally fine, except she's very important. Probably, maybe one of the 5 or 10 most important people at this thing. And the only reason she's not the most important person at this thing is that very shortly there are going to be other problems for you to deal with.
Yeah, she's the most important
yeah,
in terms of status, of course. But not the most important in terms of our priorities.
I think that as you are talking to her and she tells you exactly what she wants from this blessing, you see from behind her approaching someone you really don't want to see, who is, of course, Morosim. And Morosim is flanked by 2 thugs who look like they are wearing what could very generously be called the uniforms of your wife's roofball team. And you realize that one of the reasons that he's walking to you right now is that creating a scene in front of someone from House Andrakis is socially very, very costly. And so he thinks that he's going to be able to get away with it. Yeah, what do you do?
Yeah, I mean, if only I was playing some adroit social manipulator type. But instead, I am playing Miraz Chakraborty. So I think what he's going to try to do is, do this blessing really quickly and fuck off.
Yeah.
And hide. So he's going to actually, but there is one thing I wanted to do beforehand. As his eyes were kind of glazing over as this woman kept talking about how the kid has such a bright future ahead of her, and how she's going to do this and that and Dosvo and etc. 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 I think Miraz sort of does look at the kid, and I think he's trying to gauge is this what the kid wants?
Oh, you actually care about this child? That's so interesting. Okay. You can do this. The risk here is not so bad. I think you're in a controlled position because as I described it, Morosim hasn't quite got there yet, right? So the risk here is that you will lose time so that when you get to the next roll, it'll be risky. But right now you're in a controlled position and you can kind of try and figure out, how does this girl actually feel about this? Excellent.
Yeah, I got a 6.
Okay. I got to think about what this girl actually feels like. Oh, okay, I know. I think that she's somewhat interested in the idea of going to Duskwall, who isn't? But I think that you notice that she's constantly looking away from you towards where the roof ball is happening. And I think you realize that maybe the reason that she's not so opposed to her mother doing this is not because she wants to go to Duskwall and learn engineering, but because she wants to go to Duskwall and a roof ball, just like you and Vickers did. And for her, this is fun because she's hoping once this gets over, she can see what a true Duskwall style roof ball team can do.
And I think I do feel for this kid. And so as Morosim approaches, in Miraz's head, it's oh shit, I should just wave my hand, say, I don't know, jiggery pokery and fuck off. Because this man's going to ruin everything. But then this kid. I think he's going to weigh it in his head, and then he's going to give a little bit of a sigh. Not a big one, just a small one. and then say, "Yes, thank you, your ladyship." Is that
I
ladyship? Shall we say?
think probably
okay?
all of the noble houses have like a specific address, and this woman is going to be as you know, someone of high social status and low everything else status would be. She insists that you call her something suitably ridiculous. Call laughtership.
Mistress of
Sure,
ceremonies.
why not?
Yeah. Yes, mistress of ceremonies, of course. I shall give Nabila her blessings. Yes. Okay. Put your hands up like this, and then I kind of give a sort of like namaste sort of thing, and then you raise them up, and now I'm doing like a snake pose, and then with my wrists on my forehead, kind of like the hands bowed forward, like kind of like a cobra, which I expect her to do. And then, and even though this looks funny, this is actually what we do. This is the actual ritual. And then look into her eyes, and then I say, "By the tracks of the wheel that I see before me, all ordained all ordained and predictable, for it has all come true before. Past and future are one. We glimpse it all in the shining scales. You, my child, shall go to Dustfall, and you shall live the life that is in your heart." And I think I'm going to actually try to bless her. I think this. So I'm going to roll Attune. Like obviously, like I do. Yeah. Normally, someone trying to influence someone's future through Attune, not really a thing. But even though I don't have a special ability, I'm in my temple. The snake avatar's right there. I think I should be able to do this.
Yeah, you can have some sort of effect.
Effect.
And I think that the risk here is emotional in that it's possible that like even on a 4 to 5 you will have this effect, but she will look at you and go, "Oh, this is a fraud. This is never going to happen." And she will like the teenager will just refuse to believe that this is something that you can do.
Yeah, I like that. I can work with that. It's also possible as an alternative that I'm kind of like drawing on power that I
yeah, I think that's also possible. Like we'll see how the roll goes, I think. Because the snake is in the distance looking at all this, which we've established.
How about we make that the devil's bargain? That I shouldn't be. This is like power that I kind of have access to, but I shouldn't be trying to access it.
Makes sense.
At least for this purpose. And of course, instead of running away from Morosim, I'm wasting my time, quote unquote, with this.
A risky standard.
Risky standard. I always love to go desperate great, but
with great effect, especially since you are meddling with powers that you shouldn't be. With great effect, you will actually, I think, guarantee through the like ways and gears of the universe that she will get what she wants. This is not just a nudge. This is a.
And I think there will be something in me that like manifests the serpent in some way. Like I don't know, maybe the ridiculous sort of like snake pose. There's just something about my eyes or something, or the way I'm holding myself, that it just kind of feels for a moment that there's actual power and dignity.
I would love to assist you, but I have no idea how. So
yeah, I'm open to an assistance. I'm taking a devil's bargain already.
I wonder if maybe Abbas can assist in some way.
Oh, I have an idea for how Abbas can assist. Maybe since he has held this seminar already, maybe these people heard it, and one of the rambling things that Abbas said like sticks in their mind and make them more likely to believe this.
Even take a stress.
Yeah. So I have already helped.
Yeah, you can take a stress to be like one part of your sermon was particularly effective. Like, you must be like the sand snake that listens to its elders or something.
You know why you're taking stress? Yeah. It's because you are seeing me use your lessons to send someone to Dustfall.
Yes.
Yeah. What's the name of her snake? Does her snake have like, other than the eternal one, does it have like a name?
Yeah.
Oh, the chocolate.
I mean, like it's probably got loads of names, but yeah.
So like,
X.
I was trying to figure out.
Like, 6.
Did that succeed because of Abbas's help?
So
Yes.
it turns out, in
Excellent.
fact, that
I can't believe this.
the manner in which the Russell's Viper lies coiled around its prey until striking at exactly the right moment is exactly the way that this young girl, Nabila, should be patient until the moment arrives, at which point she should go running straight for it. And the mother thinks this is a metaphor, but Nabila understands that this is a roofball strategy. And I think that you feel, Miraz, the attention of the snake on you, not exactly disapproving. Like you say, you are the head priest, and this is your domain. But certainly, it's a little bit like watching someone like use something incredibly fine and high quality, do something very not high quality. Maybe like, you've got like an incredibly fancy Japanese like carving knife that you should be using to like cut like something, and someone's just using it to like, open their letters or something,
Excellent. Yeah, I gave for the dose bargain. I gave myself a clock.
2 free
for
with
clock.
blessings. Very good.
2 free
yeah.
with blessings.
When it fills, you will see that there is no such thing as a free blessing. But with the 6, I think what happens is
Excellent.
that Morosim is still like approaching you, but this power and dignity that you have summoned within you has also attracted more of a crowd. And it is, of course, someone from House Andrakis that you are blessing. So I think he's finding it really quite tough to kind of elbow his way through to get to you to enact whatever scheme it is of his, which involves these 2 rando scoundrels. I think that it is at this moment that some of the more important guests in terms of importance to you arrive. I think Begum Bashundhara and Sheikh Abdul both arrive around the same time because neither can afford for the other person to arrive before them. So they both arrive with their entourages quite noisily and kind of make straight for each other, because the first thing that either of them do at any kind of gathering like this is insult the other one and have a little verbal spar. We see Elizabeth Ashcroft, her nose kind of wrinkled up, somehow quite pretty, even as this look of disgust is on her face. Observing this rabble occurring, looking for and not yet finding her sister and her team because you're still preparing. And then seeing her brother-in-law do this very odd, and she doesn't necessarily hate Miraz. So for her, this is more what is this? What are you doing? Just a kind of bewilderment. And you see Zajidan and the Scotland Royals, Catherine and Johannes, I think mostly stay a little bit out of sight. Zajidan has a little group of people that he's hanging out with, and I think the 2 Scotland Royals are just sticking by him because they don't really want to attract any attention, which they mostly do until the Scotlanders themselves arrive. And the Northern Lights arrive in a riot of shouting and yelling, and they've literally legged it all the way from Bundavest to here. So their warm-up ritual appears to have been doing parkour over all the roofs to get to the roofball stadium.
That is how you do when you're the away team.
And I think they have brought fans with them, right? So the really enthusiastic fans who may be indistinguishable from players have done the running across the roofs. Some of them have timed their arrival so that they arrive at the same time, therefore noisily colliding with Abdul and Bashundhara. And then some of them, it turns out, have been here and hanging out, but now that they see the teams arrived, they erupt in yells and cheers and so on. Unfortunately, the Angels' wings do not quite have this following. They have about 4 fans, and it's Miraz, Abbas, Ajidan, and Padma Priya. Even Padma Mukhi is not a fan. Right? So, yeah, I mean, it's a bit lackluster on your end. What were you going to do?
Drum up the crowd, of course.
Yes, very
but
good.
I'll get to that when it's my turn.
So, Abbas, I think you can see now that someone better put a stop. I think both Abbas and Joan, you can see this. Someone better put a stop to Bashundhara and Abdul having this spat, because the more annoyed Bashundhara gets, the more likely she is to do something unwise, like I have a form, what the hell is going on? I'm gonna call the falconers on you and kick everybody out.
Right. Okay, so Abbas, I think we established he knows Abdul from before. I think Abbas can just interject. He'll just be like, he just casually strolls over, and he just as if he's just noticed. Oh, you're here, Abdul Bhai. You're finally here. We've been waiting for you. Come, and he's just going to try to bodily just ignore Bashundhara, just try to grab Abdullah on the shoulder and take him away.
This sounds pretty desperate to me, because Bashundhara is it's absolutely possible that she's going to see this as you trying to usurp her authority, and she will not take kindly to it. But you can do this, so it's standard effect.
Yeah. So, is this sway?
So I think you could sway here, but I think sway would look a bit different, because if you're trying to convince Abdul that he's got better things to do, then that's a sway. If you're trying to rely on your connection to him and be like, "Hey, friend, what's up?" I think that's more like a console.
Yeah. All right. Let's go. Desperate.
I think I'll assist you, actually.
Okay. All right.
By having Joan come up to Bashundhara and do the welcome, and I'll show you the place spiel.
Very good.
To distract them.
All right. Let's see it. Oh, there we go.
Okay.
All right.
I think.
Do take XP though.
Yeah.
I think what happens is that Bashundhara observes this happening, sees Joan doing this, and then immediately says, "Oh, you're all in cahoots, I see. Very well. You will show us the place, and you will do so without all of these interruptions." And I think what I'm going to do is I will take... No, actually, I think this will happen now. I think what she's going to do is that she will say to Joan that you better start getting all of these people out here. There is a procedure and there is a formality. And as you can see, I've come prepared, and she shows you exactly the forms that you knew she was going to show you. And she says, You don't have authorization for this roofball match. She does not know if this is true. She's just going to assert this. And then she says, and even if you did, everybody knows that local authority is nothing compared to urban authority. And I come here with the authority of the government of Uduwasha itself. Now, are you going to let me do my job, or shall I? Yeah.
So very loudly. It's just right. You want to throw... All these people have come here to gather funds for this charitable cause. And they have all pulled out the stops. And everybody, the amount of tension, the amount of excitement for this match, I cannot describe. You want to throw everyone out now? Surely you understand that this is important to them, that it's important to us. And I'm basically just gonna, I don't know if it's a resist or an action, just try to draw the attention of the crowd.
Okay.
I am doing the same thing, so... But it might be a separate action, I don't know. I am winning over the crowd, so kind of doing the same, working towards the same goal, I think. But maybe we can frame it as a clock that both Joan and Vickers are working on.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't think we're doing a group action. We're not doing the same thing, but we're working towards the same goal.
The reason this is a desperate action, the desperate consequence, is not necessarily because she can herself do anything. It is because the words have already left her mouth, right? And definitely there is like serious unrest now because the people she's brought with her, and there's a whole like bunch of people, some of them very well armed, have now already begun to like tell people you have no permission to be here, get the fuck out, etc. Right? So unless you gather the crowd quickly enough, these people will have the run of the place.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think it's
all right.
A desperate consequence. I think it's a 6 o'clock. I don't think it's a 4 o'clock to kind of like get the crowd on your side because they're already cowed, right? And everybody knows. Yeah.
So 6 o'clock to get them on our side. Okay.
But I wonder. Okay, so Abbas, I think this may be separate, but I think Abbas will try to challenge the authority of this person to, tell him what to do in his temple. The nerve. I think it was going to say, I'm sorry, madam, please tell me where in your regulations it says that you can come in and inspect without giving us any advance notice.
Yeah, no, please go on. I do want to hear this tirade because I'm enjoying it immensely.
Because one kind of city regulation that Abbas doesn't know very well are the rules of organizing roofball matches.
Yeah. I think that like...
Is this assisting Jones' action, or how do we frame this?
This could be a resistance.
I'm not sure. I'm going to go on my tirade and we can figure it out.
So the resistance here would be making the 6 o'clock into a 4 o'clock, right? Like you wouldn't negate the consequence.
All right. Okay.
That sounds good.
You would be able to momentarily at least like make these people more concerned with this angry yelling man, and with like dispersing the crowd. Yeah, seems like insights.
Resist with insight, yeah.
Yeah, because I'm using my knowledge of roofball regulations. I've cleared this with the Roofball Association. Our roof has been inspected to have the proper amount of debris for use during the game, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's all there. Yeah.
Oh no. Yeah, that's 4 stress.
Ooh, that's a lot of stress.
I like that the roof is not cleared.
Of course.
Having the proper amount.
If you have a clean roof, then you can't get a roof ball, right? Certainly not.
You need terrain. You need, excite. It's like a battle map.
Oh man, roof ball is now a somewhat like Warhammer 40,000. Very good.
Yeah.
Yes.
We are even cleared to have monkeys appear like in the middle of the game. So I don't know what this person's talking about.
Okay. So as you yell this, I think like some of the people who were like starting to tell everyone else what the hell are you doing and so on, get out of here, are instead now circling around you and telling you what the hell are you doing, get the hell out of here before I bash your skull in. But let's cut away before that continues. So let's see what Vickers is doing. How are you getting the crowd on your side?
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so I need the crowd on my side. So we will see the Skovlanders setting themselves up, and they have this kind of ironclad defense. So I need to get at Marion. And I realize looking at them that I can't get past them. So I pull on my fingerless glove. I will scan the battlefield. And then I will rush towards the snake. And I will shout, "Your Majesty, I require a boost." And then I'm going to run up the snake, have him toss me in the air, and a moment before that, I'm going to grab a piece of sporting equipment that Miraz recently acquired, and I'm going to get tossed up into the air with my hang glider, fly over the battlefield with my angel wings spread, and call out, "Angels, take flight!"
Okay.
Oh god. I'm going to acquire that asset now. I'm going to see how good that hang glider is.
I was going to say one of the possible desperate consequences here is you fall out of the sky. So let's find out how good the hang glider is.
Yeah. I will say, however, I'm activating the Tiger's Fury, which means that I can move to any location on the field of battle that I can see. And my goal here is to be above it, so I can drop down on top of Marion later. But, it may not be a very controlled descent. That's possible.
I'm spending a rep. For this. Actually,
Yes.
wait, no. We're conducting an operation on our hunting grounds. It's free. Free on conduction. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
So no bonus dice. Roll it as it is. Actually, no. I have a friend who's a hang glider guy. He knows he can get me a good hang glider.
1, which means it's tier
One.
-1.
It's not a very good hang glider.
0.
That's
But
fine.
You know what? I know what happened. Couldn't get a good one just based on knowing my friend.
Yeah.
All the money
Yep.
that I borrowed from
Yes.
Morosim,
Yeah.
I spent it on this.
Mhm.
So that my wife doesn't die.
Good.
Yeah.
This wasn't really planned, but
Let's
Now you
say
have a
that
hang glider.
yeah, good.
you get a hang glider that's like not tier 0. Let's say it's tier 1. It's able to like stay in the sky.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because I spent 2 coins, so now it's tier 1.
I think the consequences here also that like when someone like Hive has people on you, and they've definitely noticed you bought the hang glider, so they know that this is what you spent the money on.
Uh-huh.
It's not like particularly subtle. So
Yeah.
like when you are in the air, Vickers, from the ground, Morosim looks up and points, and you now realize why he came with 2 roofball clad, uniform clad thugs, because his plan was to sneak onto your team, take the hang glider away from you, and beat you to shit with it in a lovely move of poetic irony.
Uh-huh. Yeah, well, good luck
absolutely.
reaching me up here, bitch.
Okay, so you can do this. I think you'll have great effect, which will be 3 checks on this clock. But yeah, desperate. There are so many things that can go wrong here. So
yeah, desperate, great, absolutely. I am activating the Tiger's Fury, so I have a bonus die. And I want to reiterate, I do get to move up into the
100%,
sky, like for free,
you will
because I
hit up
activate
there,
this
no problem.
ability. And can anyone assist me?
I'm assisting you partly by trying to draw the snake's attention to you. So it's like, yes, please do. Please help my wife so she doesn't die. And also, I've also bought you a hang glider, and I'm stressed. I'm stressed as hell.
Yep, good. Command, desperate, great, 2 bonus dice.
Incredibly good. That's
Whoa.
5516. I mean, you needed all the help that you could get.
Yes, I did. So I am actually flying. I did not. Vickers did not imagine this when she made Angel Wings the theme of her team. But yes, she's flying over the roofball field towards Marion, while her angels, of course, heartened by this charge.
Your angels, you can see all of your fans, also the 2 Scotland Royals who are like, wow, and young Nabila, who has always wanted to be a roofball athlete, all look up at you, point, and say, is that a bird? Is that a plane? No, it's fucking Vickers on a hang glider.
It's the angel of death coming for Marion.
And so blows out our brief candle. I named the disciples of the Ceaseless Temple thus, with both their false names and true. Soumithri, called Tree as the GM. Zoheb, called Klow as Miraz. Prince as Vickers. Emma as Joan. Aadiyat, called Soap as Abbas. Blades in the Dark and the original inspiration for Udo Asha by John Harper and Evil Hat Productions. Iruvian playbooks by Johnstone Metzger. Jalandhar intro music by Kevin MacLeod. Outro music in Keeravani Ragam by U. Srinivas. Follow us at Desperate Attune on Twitter or email us at desperateattune@gmail.com. Support us at ko-fi.com/desperateattune.